on YouTube, and we're going to get going. Happy Monday. Good morning YouTube and good morning TikTok. You're watching live with LWL, Lindsay with love. Today is Monday, the 16th of June, 2025. Holy cow, time is flying when you're having fun. Amen to that. If you are new here, hi, I'm here to transform as many lives as possible. It is my soul mission to raise the frequency of the planet by helping people heal their energy, understand who they are as spiritual beings so they can use their spiritual and energetic power to manifest a better life for themselves. And that is what I came to do, and that is what I do every single day for people inside of the Cosmic Collective, for people inside the Manifesting Club, for people that purchase astrology reports from me, join my healing courses, and whatever else they choose to do. So welcome to the show. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose, belly nice and full. Let it go out of the mouth. It's Monday, you guys. Good morning, VIP Deborah. Good morning, VIP Catherine. Good morning, Sarah on YouTube. Let's get going. I found an old Bob Proctor video, you guys, and I have to share it with you. So we're going to talk about, I grabbed notes. I was taking notes. Of course, I have to sign in, which is why I was a little bit late. So please forgive me this time. I know I was late, but it was like, okay, I had to kind of choose, like, do I finish this 5-minute part of this video and get all the notes, or do I just join the show? And I felt like I had to just join the show. So let me sign into my notes on my iCloud and we will get going. All right. Good morning, Annabelle. Good morning. Pin my goal. Okay. Good morning to Holly, if you're still here. Good morning, VIP Deborah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Trust this browser. Trust. Okay. How was everybody's weekend? I hope everybody had a nice weekend. Had a really nice dinner on Friday. I got caught in the rain with my partner. We were sitting kind of on like a rooftop with an awning, like a second-story restaurant, sitting outside on their patio that kind of wraps around the restaurant. Super cute. And it started like tropical downpouring, thunderstorming. It was like lightning. It was the coolest thing ever. It was like so nice. I felt so alive. And then Saturday, I got to just veg out all day. We literally barely left our bed. It felt so nice. It was like so long since I've done that and just been able to just like be all day. And then yesterday we went back to hot yoga for the first time in 3 weeks because I was traveling and then I was kind of sick, kind of down and out. And holy cow, good morning, sweet and salty. Welcome to the show. Holy cow, it was so hard to go back after 3 weeks. But not just so hard, but the room was 113 degrees the whole time. She didn't open the door. The fans were going very slowly. And I'm like, what is actually happening? Half the class was just like lying on their mats the whole time. It was wild. I have never sat out so many positions as that class. But I'm glad I went back and I feel good and back in action. Good morning, VIP Erin. Welcome to the show. You guys. Okay, let's do the dang thing. Let's do it. So we're going to talk Bob Proctor. You guys know Grandpa Bob. He's my bestie. Oh, thank you for the rose, sweet and salty. Thank you for the rose, VIP Deborah. Oh, how cute are these? Do they flap? No. Okay. Oh, womp womp. That's so cute. Thank you for sending it. You know, I'm always curious, so I always like to see the interactive ones. Like, what is this one going to look like? What's this one going to look like? Thank you for that, VIP Deborah. Okay, so Bob Proctor is talking what differentiates the winners from the masses? The winners from the masses, the extraordinary from the average, however you want to say it, whatever vibes with you. What is that? And we're going to talk about it today. You guys know the answer already, but he's talking about it. It's kind of in a little bit of a different way, and I kind of like it. You're not going to hear any like Jim Rohn. It's consistency. You're going to hear Bob Proctor talking spirituality, and of course we love that. Oh boy, you guys. All right. I feel like before I say that, I do want to share one thing. Before we start into this, I do want to share one thing. Only because I thought it was kind of interesting and it hit my brain this morning and I don't want it to leave my brain. And in fact, I want to write it down really quickly because I feel like this could be like a whole show. It's not going to be today's show. So let me get a journal. 660. I've been doing so bad at journaling in my one. Like I have multiple journals, and one of them I've just been doing so bad. It's about an old program. So my partner and I were talking this morning, and he's like, "Oh, I wish I could just stay home." And I was like, "That's called retirement. So stay focused on the goal, which is why we're here, which is for you to get the money to retire. Just like that's called retirement." He's like, "I know, babe." And I was like, "Oh, I mean, or you could work from home," because he was kind of getting annoyed with me. And I was like, "Well, you could work from home." He's like, "No, I mean like stay home and not work." And I was like, "Yeah, then once again, that's called retirement, right? Like if that's what you choose to do, which is not work at all during your retirement." And he was like, I was like, "Well, it would be nice if we had like Fridays off so we could just have like an extra day just to like be, like wouldn't it be nice?" And of course I set my own schedule so I can have whatever days off I want, but that's not really realistic as an entrepreneur when you're just building out your passive income foundations. Now, once the foundations are going, it's realistic, but in the stage I'm in, we're not there yet, right? And that's okay, because all good things take a little bit of time and consistency. And so anyway, I was like, it would be nice, like, don't European people take off like summer Fridays, or they take off like, they only work Monday through Thursday, they have their siestas? And he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "that's true, but they don't make as much money." And I thought to myself, that's a very interesting thing to say. And instantly, the thing that flew into my brain as soon as he said that, which I wasn't going to tell him because he's going to work, it's Monday morning, he doesn't need to be talking some philosophical stuff with me on a Monday morning right before he goes to his job. But the thought that came into my brain was, you don't trade time for money. But in his reality, he does, right? He's in the corporate world. He does trade his time for money. In my reality, I don't trade my time for money. I trade my creativity for money. And in fact, everybody should be trading their creativity for money. And if you could think that way, if you could turn that programming around where you're not trading your time, you're trading your creativity, it would push you to be more creative at your job, and it would probably you would be bringing more value to your job. It's Monday, I can't even speak, right? And because you're bringing more value to your job, you're receiving more money, right? So perspective shift for people that are struggling with time and money. You don't trade your time for money unless you do work for somebody else, and in that case you do. But if you could switch it to, I'm trading my creativity for money, you would be more creative, more imaginative, you'd have better ideas coming to your boss, whatever else, efficiencies, blah blah blah. And and with that, you would be able to bring more value to your company, and then you'd be able to tell your boss, "Hey, I had this idea, I brought this much value to the company. Now because I brought value to the company in the form of dollars, I would expect that you give me more dollars," right? Because if you're giving value to your company, saving them money or bringing in more business, and they're not giving you more money, that's kind of jacked. You should probably go try to find to work for a different company, right? Wendy's in the house. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, VIP Deborah. Thank you for the 100. VIP Deborah says, "Heck yeah." All right, so that was a thought that came into my brain. I think I'll probably do like a whole show on it at some point, but try to perspective shift. See if you can start with it today. I'm not actually trading my time for money. I'm trading my creativity. And people that work a corporate job, especially from home, know that because they get their work done in like 2 hours, right? And then the rest of the day, it's just a game of like, can it appear that I'm working when I'm supposed to be working, right? Anyway, I don't suggest that you steal from your company, but I also do suggest that you give match the energy. That's just my opinion. Okay, Bob Proctor. This is from, I don't even know how old Bob was, but he was like a young man in this video, and so I'm super excited to share this with you. Once again, what differentiates the winners from the masses? I'll give you a hint. It is your self-image. It will make or break your reality. So we're going to talk about the self-image and really how he sees it, because this is something I haven't heard anybody put the dots together this way before. So let's see what happens. All right. He says, winners are aware. Are you listening? You're a winner. You're here. Winners are aware of a certain place within themselves, referred to as the higher self. Now, Cosmic Collective members, you're excited because you're like, holy shit, I've been connecting with my higher self ever since probably before joining the Cosmic Collective, but even stronger since I've been inside. So you're excited already. If you're not, get excited. It's Monday morning, I know, so we're all still a little sleepy. Shaky, shaky, wakey, wakey, right? VIP Deborah says, and if it's possible, you don't want to be stealing from yourself either. Your time in life is worth a lot. Exactly. That too. Totally. That too. Okay, so he says, and in the higher self, right? So, and inside of your higher self, basically he's describing what it is an image of perfection, perfection. There is nothing wrong with you. Perfection. What a beautiful concept. Doesn't that like relieve some pressure from you? Like, oh, okay, I'm already perfect. That's great. He says, which is forever attempting to express itself in a greater way. Winners are aware of a certain place within themselves referred to as the higher self. And in the higher self is an image of perfection, which is forever attempting to express itself in a greater way. That is a direct quote from Bob Proctor. Direct quote. I was like, I can't even like paraphrase this quote because it's so good. Like it has to be exactly what it was. Okay, so he says, so when a winner wants to bring their dreams to life, they call upon their higher selves. VIP Deborah's like, holy shit, I'm doing it. I've been doing it. This is so exciting. They call upon their higher selves and they set about to change the world, but not just for themselves, but for everybody, right? Everybody. So I always talk about the higher self and like the soul mission and why you are doing what you're doing in this lifetime. And I talk about the path of being on the path of service to others versus being on the path of service to self, right? The path of service to self is a very selfish path. And it's not to say like you can't be a little bit selfish on the path of service to others. You kind of have to be to get your energy right, but once your energy's right, you're on it and you're going and you're good. The path of service to self is like, I want this, I don't care about anybody else, this is what I'm doing, I'm creating this product, I'm gonna make millions off of it, it's gonna poison people, it's toxic, I know it's toxic, I don't care, it's gonna be cute and beautiful and whatever. I think about that anytime like I'm thinking about laundry detergents, deodorants, like things that we obviously know are poison to the body, yet, and there is a clean alternative, yet the person is still selling the poison. That is a path of service to self. I just want the money. I just want to be good. I don't give a shit about my community, my neighborhood. And maybe I'll donate, but it'll be like to some like shady shit that's actually just like funneling money back to me, right? Path of service to self. Path of service to others says, okay, I'm going to create this thing because maybe I really needed it and I needed it and it helped me transcend, it helped me heal, it helped me figure something out, it solved a problem, and I know other people have problems, right? That's why they say moms are some of the greatest inventors, because moms birth a whole baby and there's like a whole new life of like things and difficulties and challenges, right? And they create not just for themselves, but they create for the other moms or the aunties or the uncles that might use a product or whoever, right? Whoever. So that's the path of service to others. I'm setting about to make change, not just for myself, but for everybody else, the collective. VIP Jewel says, good morning, VIP Jules. Oof, I can't even imagine living with that mentality. Yeah, but a lot of people do, right? We can see it in the news right now, and I'm not going to talk politics because I don't talk politics because I think all of it is shady. I don't care what side of the fence or who's on the stage. It's all a little bit questionable in my mind. But we can see it with like the peaceful protests and then the people that are coming in and rioting and hurting others. It's jacked up. And those people are on the path of service to self. And so how do you make it work? I don't know. I don't have the answer. It's a complex situation and I'm not trying to be the one to have the answer. All I know is you've got people that are on the path of service to others. They're setting about to use their voice to make change, not just for themselves, but for others. Peacefully, which means not burning things, screaming at people, spitting on people, punching people, doing things in the streets, breaking buildings. And then you have the other people, right? And they're kind of mixing in right now and it's kind of just like wild to watch. Anyway, so that's what a winner does. They put themselves on the path of service to others. But there is a moment at the beginning where you have to be a little bit selfish with your energy to heal yourself first. It's hard to be on the path of service to others when you're hurting, when you feel guilt, when you feel ashamed, when you're mad, when you have anger in your heart. It's hard to be on the path of service to others. So you take the time for yourself. You're kind of in a neutral path. You're just working on you, but for the betterment of you. And ultimately, even though you're healing and it feels like maybe it's selfish, you're still on the path of service to others, because every time you raise your frequency, you exude a higher vibration out to the people that you're connecting with. Right? And they feel that, whether they can understand why they feel it or they actually like really recognize that they feel it, they still feel it. Our energies all still speak to each other, right? VIP Jewel says, I just shake my head like an old granny. I'll never understand it. Yeah, exactly. VIP Deborah says, that's why I truly believe that everyone needs to spend time with themselves to keep yourself in alignment. I think it's going to be alignment. Okay, there we go. Alignment and heal so that you can do it for others. Yep, exactly. I agree. I agree, obviously, because I had my spiritual awakening and that's what I did, and it's been beautiful ever since. Life before my spiritual awakening was not fun. Life after my spiritual awakening, although sometimes feels like, oh my gosh, what is actually happening, is a lot of fun, right? Because you feel good. You feel good. All right, so he says, to be great, Bob Proctor says, to be great, you need to, one, be aware that you have a higher self, and two, change your perception of yourself. Be aware that you have your higher self. Oh my gosh, I'm cold. Good thing my sweater is sitting right here. Usually it's not sitting right here, but my man folded it up so nicely for me. Ugh, I don't have my slippers on, you guys, and when my toes are cold, my whole body is cold, and right now my toes are cold. I should put my sweater on my toes, but that's okay. I'll put it on my body and warm up. Okay, so he says to be aware, to be great, you need to be aware you have a higher self, and you need to change your perception of yourself. Okay, fine, easy peasy. Easy peasy. We do it all the time inside the Cosmic Collective. VIP Deborah says, your man loves you so very much. What a great guy. I think he just loves like order, and it was in the living room like on another, he does love me, you're right. Thank you. But he also is very much like everything in its place. And it was just hanging on like the chair in the living room because I just threw it there one day when I just took it off on Friday and I just threw it there. I was gonna clean it up, but I was like, okay, we put it there, it's fine. Too funny. Okay, so Bob Proctor says self-image is what really makes or breaks you. Actually, I said that, but that's what he basically said, but I'm paraphrasing. He says, look around you to see what self-image you currently have. Because he's like, well, people don't know, like people aren't even aware of their self-image. They don't think about their self-image. But if you were to think about it, you would very quickly know maybe some gaps or things that needed to be improved upon, because you can look around and see kind of what's hanging out in your reality. Right? Because we create internally and then change everything externally. So he says, look at your friendships, look at your living conditions, look at your bank account, your health, etc. It's simple, right? And he says, as you alter your self-image, you can change your outer reality. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to go build the new house. I mean, maybe, right? But you're altering the energy of you, and because you're altering the energy of you, it puts you in harmonious frequency, harmonious energy, vibration, connection with the opportunities to have a new external reality, right? Good morning, VIP Jamie is in the house. He says, most people want to do the opposite. They want to change external things to feel different inside. But he said, but that's like trying to change a reflection on a mirror without trying to change your physical appearance first. So that's like me looking in the mirror and being like, oh no, like reflect back to me like lip gloss lips, because I don't have any lip gloss on right now. Reflect back to me like different colored eyes. Well, that's kind of a lame one. Reflect back to me shorter hair. Reflect back to me like stronger biceps, like bigger biceps. But it's like, no, you have to go actually do the bicep curls. Thank you for this, VIP Jewels. It's so pretty. I really do like that color, purple. It's like electric purple. It's like you have to go do the bicep curls first before you'll see the reflection of them in the mirror, right? I kind of got some good biceps going here. Anyway, so he's like, don't be silly, right? Change internally and then you'll change externally. He says, then he has this brilliant quote. He quotes James Allen, who, James Allen is the author of As a Man Thinketh, another thought kind of leader of his time. And he says, this is a direct quote. He says, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 hills. In other words, challenges. He thinks in secret and it comes to pass. Our environment is but our looking glass. And I was like, that's a cute little poem. So I included that as well. That's a James Allen quote. That is not a Bob Proctor quote, but Bob was quoting him. And it's like, yeah, it's true, right? Your mind creates, and we take our ideas, we shape them, and they're either going to bring us a ton of joy or they're going to bring us a ton of mountains to climb over, right? When we worry, we are creating a reality that we have got to overcome. And when I heard that for the first time, like, what was that, 2 weeks ago, you guys? I was like, whoa. When you worry, you are just creating a hard reality for yourself to overcome. And it's like, at what point are you going to prove to yourself that you can overcome the hardship? At what point is like enough enough? And you just decide you're not going to think that way anymore, right? That's kind of how I think of it. It's like, how many more battles do you want to create for yourself? Like, you've already got enough going on, right? You already have to survive, go to your job, do all the things, spend time doing things you don't really want to do, probably. We all have to do that. We have different responsibilities. So it's like, outside of all that, like, then you're gonna on top of it worry and create realities you have to overcome. And that's just like mind blowing to me. It's like, why would you want to do that, right? Good morning, Jamie. VIP Aaron says to at Jamie Money. I don't know what that means. VIP Jewel says yes, facts. Thank you for the heart, VIP Aaron. So he goes on to say your self-image is lodged in your subconscious mind. Now remember, the conscious mind is what we use to think, to create, to imagine. The subconscious mind is our autopilot. It's our automatic thoughts and behaviors that were programmed before the age of 0 to age 7. And then if we programmed after that ourselves, it was through repetitive action. How did you become the best runner at the age of 14 on your track and field team? You practiced every day. How did you learn how to play the piano so beautifully after the age of 9? You started classes at age 9 and you practiced every day. How did you learn how to play da-da-da at age 15, 16, 20, 40? It doesn't really matter. Anytime after age 7, what you did is you did something repetitiously enough, consistently enough that you formed a new habit and it lodged into your subconscious mind. Okay? So that's pretty easy to understand, right? Nope, meant to say morning. Multitasking not working. I was like, money, I love that. Like, oh, bring that into the energy. It's a Monday for sure. Good morning, VIP Aaron. So he says your self-image is locked in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind operates like it's on autopilot, right? So he says, he talks about a plane. It's actually a really brilliant scenario, examples that he gives. He says, you're on a flight, and you're going from wherever to, say, Hawaii. This is what he says, Hawaii. So I'm going to go with Hawaii. Hawaii sounds nice to visit. So the pilot puts the plane on autopilot, and along the way, there's some unexpected turbulence, as are on most flights. And when this unexpected turbulence, when the plane hits this kind of bubble in the sky, the autopilot detects this unexpected turbulence, and it documents the deviation off the path that it was currently on to get to Hawaii. And what happens is the autopilot sends the deviation to a system. The system autocorrects. They change up the way that the wings are, the angle the plane is on, the flaps, whatever, all the other things that they do on the plane. And then all of a sudden they're back on track, right? The plane's back on track. You still make it to Hawaii. That's what autopilot does. He says our subconscious mind and our self-image is the same way. Our self-image. So now we're not talking necessarily the subconscious mind. We're talking the self-image. Hand in hand, yes, but this is a totally different way of thinking of it that I've heard. So he says your self-image works the same way. Think about this. You're a salesperson. Your goal is to hit $1 million at the end of this year. $1 million. And you start off January really strong. You hit $200,000 that month. And then February, it gets better. $300,000. You're already halfway to your goal. You're halfway to your goal, but you're not halfway through the year yet, right? So because your self-image, because it's so ingrained, you're going to hit $1 million that year, hit $1 million that year, hit $1 million that year. Your subconscious mind, your self-image auto-corrects, so you have a couple really tanky months. Nothing happens. And then by the end of the year, it all evens out and you hit $1 million. So we don't want that, right? What if the person kept going and they were at like 3 million by the end of the year? Wouldn't that have been better? Yes, of course. But the self-image says, oh, I sell $1 million each year. So once again, I'm going to sell $1 million each year, right? This is why the power of or more or better is really important when it comes to manifesting. When you receive something in, when I receive an order, I say, thank you, universe, this and more, this or more, right? Or I insist upon 50,000 TikTok followers or more by the end of this month. And more or more, whatever you want to say. Or better, right? So he says, think about like a student that's like an average D student. You know, they are always getting a D. And the parents are like, you got to do better, study harder, we're going to put you with a tutor, whatever. And then the student somehow manages to pull off like a couple B minuses on a couple of tests. And the student is excited and the parents are excited, but still the student's self-image is like, I'm a D student, I'm a D student. And because of that, by the end of the year, their grades are like basically D's, right? So what do you do with that? How do you get out of that state? VIP Jewel says, every day, nothing less, only more, with humble grace, gratitude, and kindness. Yep, exactly. From my highest truth and compassion. That's what I always say. From my highest truth and compassion, for the good of all and the harm of none. This and more. Good morning. Lisa is in the house. VIP Lisa. So he says, well, then how do we alter our self-image? Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the go popular. Oh, I like that one. So how do we alter our self-image, right? And he says, the first thing to do is fantasize, dream, use your imagination. He says, you got to get out of this mold that you're stuck in. And the only way to start changing it is to start thinking of yourself in a different way. So currently you're XYZ person, you know this because you're really tapped into your five senses, and your five senses tell you, and the mirror tells you, and whoever else, your doctor tells you, and your boss, and whoever else is telling you shit about yourself, right? Which is like annoying because like you don't know me, I know me, but right? So you listen to them and it goes into your brain and you keep it there and you keep it there, and your senses are reaffirming it because you keep it there and you're creating it, and it's reaffirming, and it's a cycle of reaffirming and thinking it. And now you have got to fantasize, and it's like, oh shit. But just try, right? Sometimes I like to like Google, I will just Google search like, what is the most luxurious vacation I could take? What is like the most beautiful hotel I could ever stay in? What is like an experience that not many people have had that I could do? Where is like one of like the coolest whatever? Now, like maybe I'll do that, but it's not necessarily for me to go do it. It's so I can start to think in those terms. Higher, more, better. Right? What is the, like it could be anything. It could be about health. What is the fastest somebody cured themselves naturally from this XYZ issue? What's the fastest? I want to know because I'm thinking to myself, this is going to take me years, right? Now, this is just a made up scenario. I don't have any issues like that, but it's like you could have it in your mind that, oh, this is not something I can get rid of. Oh, this is going to take forever. And then you go Google search it just for funsies, and it's like, holy shit, somebody did this in like 10 days. Somebody did this in like a 20-day retreat. Somebody did this, whatever. And the second that somebody can do it, you can do it, right? So it's important to like step out of your own like environment, read something new, watch something you would never watch, so you can get your brain to start imagining and creating. So he says, fantasize, dream, use your imagination. And he says, you're gonna have questions like, can I actually do this? Now, of course you can do it, because if somebody else did it, you can do it. But also, like, if your mind has it set, then yes, you can do it, right? It's just a matter, it's just your mind. As long as you think you can do it, you can do it. So am I able to? Of course. The next question you might think about is, am I willing to pay the price to turn my fantasy into a fact? Now, I think this is where people get hung up. I think a lot of people think that they can do what they want to do. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem lies in the second question, which is, am I willing to face ridicule, face shaming, face ostracization of my community, face crappy feedback, negative feedback from my parents, from whoever, if I set out to actually create this, turn it into life. And fear of failure and fear of success are two sides of the same coin. You're afraid to be seen. You're afraid to be seen as successful. Be successful, but not so successful that now your family is uncomfortable with your success, right? Be successful, but not so successful that other people are going to think that it's like some shady business. Be seen, but not so seen because, you know, you have a reputation to uphold and your family is XYZ and da 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 da. I mean, it goes on and on and on, right? Let's be real. So that's the second part. I think that's the hang up. He says, are you able to face like the ridicule even by the people that supposedly love you, that you love? He says, the second that you say, yes, I'm willing to pay the price to turn my fantasy into a fact, he says, now you're on the second step of the journey, which is called the theory. You have your theory. And he's kind of talking about it from like the point of view of like an Einstein or an Edison or Alexander Graham Bell, right? Who's like, oh, I'm going to bring light to the world. And they're like, you're crazy. You're literally crazy. And they kept trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. And everyone kept saying, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. This person's lost their mind. They've lost their mind. No, in fact, they've tapped in. What a concept. They've tapped into their mind, their higher self, right? So I'll get caught up with the comments in a second here. But then he says, okay, so now you've turned your fantasy into a theory. Good morning, VIP Lisa. VIP Deborah says, that used to be the hardest thing for me to not limit myself. VIP Catherine says, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, right? Who grew up on Thomas the Tank Engine? I think it was beautiful. There's all this funny stuff about millennials on the internet, and I love it because I'm a millennial and I like just love to see other people and like hear other people's perspectives. But it's like the Gen Zers are mad because millennials are aging really well, and they're like, how come millennials are so like positive even through all of like the chaos? And I really do think that growing up as a millennial, we were infiltrated with positivity with programming. I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about the music I used to listen to, like love music, like kind of like empowered women music, super like kind of emo, but like emo in a way of like, don't give up, you can do it. Thomas the Tank Engine, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Like all of those shows I've been thinking about, and I'm like, our programming outside of our parents, because I think a lot of us have like authority, parental kind of childhood trauma around like the connection with our relationship, the connection with our parents. But on the other side of it, we had connection with like really good programming, I think, personally. And we didn't have like all the cell phones, the internet, whatever. So we were still kind of disconnected. And it was just really our community that had like a super powerful impact until we were like in our teens, like late teens, right? So I think it's kind of interesting. I've been thinking about that a lot. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I think I can, I think I can. And we went through a lot of shit as millennials. We did. Sonia, good morning. Welcome to the show, VIP Sonia. Switch that up. I know I can. I know I can. There you go, VIP Jules. VIP Catherine says, despite all the challenges, my heart is still open. I'm here to be that example. I love that. VIP Jules says, there was so much discovery around early childhood philosophy around that time too. So there was a huge shift in best education. Oh, interesting. I had no idea. Yeah, I just like, when I look back, I'm like, you know, for millennials going through, and this is not like, I'm not turning this conversation to like whose generation is best. I think we all have like a lot of beautiful energy to give. But it's like, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, maybe in some ways it was kind of messed up. Like, we kind of just did what we wanted. Like, we rode our bike miles. We didn't have phones, so our parents never really knew where we were. Like, it was kind of just like a hope. Like, are they gonna bike back home before dark kind of a vibe? And like all this stuff, but like somehow we're still super optimistic generation, I think anyway. And I do believe that a lot of millennials came here to heal. And I don't know, I can't remember like all the different waves that Grandma Dolores used to talk about, but anyway, that's just my own personal intuition on that. VIP Catherine says, VIP Jules, yes, thank you for this, changing it now. Exactly. 100, I feel this change in education now too. Less techno, more outdoor learning. Yeah, we got this, lovely lady. You guys got it. Good morning, Devin. Welcome to the show. I agree. Well, thanks for being here. Okay, so now we've altered our self-image because we started to fantasize. And he says, now to turn your fantasy into theory, you need to pass these tests. Am I able to do this? Yes, you can. You just need to figure out how. You already know that. You're a boss. You're here. You're welcome. You're extraordinary. Like, be the best version of yourself. You know you can do it. You can do anything you want to do. And I can almost guarantee you that, like, with the proper YouTube searches, you can do anything you want for free. I've built like half my business or more on simply YouTube searches. I've resolved coding on my website, YouTube searches. I've done like so many crazy things just by searching on YouTube, you guys. So yeah, you can do it. And the next question is, am I willing? He says, once you have the am I willing, then now all you have to do is firmly plant this theory in your subconscious mind. Now, how do you program the subconscious mind? You guys know. Repetition, visualization. He says, write down what it is you're visualizing for this new reality, whatever it is you're planting in your mind. He says, and then compare the visualization to how you're living now. Compare them. Not to guilt yourself, not to shame yourself, not to be like, oh, Lindsay, you suck. No, just to be aware. Are you living that version of yourself now? Sometimes I don't even realize the version I'm trying to go to, I'm already living. I'm like, holy, wait, what? I write it out and then I'm like, Lindsay, you're already doing that. And I'm like, oh, okay, right? Sometimes it's simply an awareness, okay? Good morning, thank you. You're welcome, Devin. Thanks for being here. VIP Catherine says, agreed, the info is out there. You just have to go look for it and keep the determination to your goal. Yeah, be resourceful. Be resourceful. I think like that's one of my superpowers is being resourceful. I can figure anything out. I just can. I just know I can. And when you're resourceful and you know that you can figure anything out no matter what, guess what that creates? Faith. It creates self-trust. Things that are required for you to actually go do the damn thing. Things that are required of you in step one to say, yes, I am willing to pay the price to turn my fantasy into a fact. I'm willing to pay the price. I know I'm willing to pay the price because I know I'm resourceful, and because I'm resourceful, I can trust myself. And because I can trust myself, I can take those leaps of faith when I have to, because I know that I'm resourceful. It's a beautiful circle. It's just like a nice closed loop, right? And I love a nice closed loop. Don't get me wrong there. Unless it's one that you're stuck on. Then you got to get off. You got to take it apart and get off. So he says, write down the visualization, compare it to how you're living now, and see what needs to be tweaked. That's it. And once you figure it out, go start tweaking. No, that's not good. Delete that. Once you figure it out, go start taking some action to step into that new reality. Oh, okay. What I loved next is what he says next. I loved this part. He says, start with your personal appearance. I thought, oh, Bob, that's a little bit egotistical of you. I didn't really think that, but I was like, oh, personal appearance, really? But this is what he said next. He says, how you dress, how you walk, how you project yourself. Start there. He says it sends a very powerful message to your subconscious mind, an empowered message. Okay, think about it. Was it Jim Rohn who said that we can change our entire lives and how people perceive us in 7 days? Was it Jim Rohn? I want to say it was Jim Rohn. So I decided to start standing up for my TikTok videos. I thought, okay, maybe if I stand up, I'll be able to project better. And this white chair behind me, I was getting kind of over it. So I decided to stand up. I don't know, all of a sudden I stood up and I was getting thousands of more views. Now, of course, I did a bunch of things to alter my videos and how I was doing them before I got all these views and followers, but I stood up and it did change the perception. You stand up, you're able to really project from your diaphragm. I trained my voice to speak down here. I still hear people talking up here, oh, do you want to join my course? No, I don't. I really don't. Why are you yelling at me in that voice, right? Train your voice. It's so simple. Just do it. Practice, right? You project in a different way. Put your shoulders back. Go to yoga on Sundays. Start to work on your posture, right? Head held high. When you stand up recording videos, I can put my shoulders back. I can put my head high. And I can talk, right? LOL, VIP Deborah says, thank you for the follow, Angel. Welcome to the show. So, but how you dress, right? How you dress. How you dress is a tricky one for me. Sometimes I think, okay, I'm guided by the moon, you guys. It's tricky. I want to dress different every 2.5 days, right? So sometimes I have my little soft cardigan, which I just love. I mean, I should have bought like 20 of these when I had the chance. Sometimes I get more dressed, sometimes less dressed. I try always to stay kind of relatable, right? Because when you're relatable, people relate to you. It's like the Taylor Swift theory, right? She's always like kind of relatable, the curly hair, the kind of like girl next door type energy. Not that I really am down with Tay Tay, you guys. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just saying, right? I'm terrible about clothes. VIP Deborah says, I don't really care. I don't like 3 pair of pants, like 100 shirts. Yeah, 2 pairs of shoes. VIP Catherine says, learn the high voice is my mask to others, changing it to be authentic with every spoken word. That's really powerful. That's a really great realization. Perfect. Practice it. Practice every single day, in every single situation. And the more you practice talking to every single different type of person, the more that you will just enter into that programming, right? Repetition. And could also be like when you get excited. Like my voice still goes high when I get excited, but that's kind of different. Good morning, Bex. Good morning, Bex. Welcome to the show. Yes, ma'am, that's what I've been doing. You got it, girl. He says, then once you start with your outer appearance to project differently, and it doesn't even have to be that you really change up a lot. You could change up the color blush you put on your cheeks. You could change up going from red lipstick to like a clear lip gloss. I mean, this is very girly pop, I know. You could go from wearing V-necks to a crew neck. Like, it doesn't have to be something crazy, but if people are perceiving you in a certain energy that you don't want to be perceived in anymore, then perhaps the first thing you can do is change your physical appearance. Simply because, and I hate to say it, but it is important, right? It is important how you appear. And as much as we want to say our auras speak to each other first, they do, but then we're looking, right? We look at our food, we look at the people, we're looking at things. This is pretty, this is not. We're using our eyes. So it is important, and it can be a very quick change. Very quick. Remember you guys when I cut these little bangs? It went from like my face, I just felt like my hair was just like so drab to now I have these like little feathers. It's cute. It's a very subtle change. Fex is laughing at me. VIP Jewel says, I never paid much notice to my voice until on a classmate collective call and you guys commented on how whispery it is. I've been analyzing why that is and where it comes from ever since. But in a soothing way. Not in like a mousy way or like a scared way. In a soothing way, VIP Jules. I think it's beautiful. I think it's like perfect voice for to like your guys' point, talking inside the Cosmic Collective on Friday, like children's narration, stuff like that. Like, it's a soothing voice, not like scaredy voice. VIP Catherine says, yes, excited versus fake phone voice is different, and I recognize it. Okay, awesome. Now that you recognize it, you can start working with it as you have been. I love your voice. It's so soothing. Yeah, there we go. 2 to make it true. I didn't even read Catherine's comment yet. VIP Deborah says, Catherine, that's funny. Mark used to call my voice the phone voice because I worked on the phone for so many years. Yeah. The phone voice. It's like that customer service, like that kind of monotone, like da voice. Not that you have that, VIP Deborah, but just I know the voice. VIP Jewel says, no, just in that I used to be very loud in my youth. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I don't really remember. Like, I don't know if I was ever loud or not. I just think I had, like, I was really talking out of my throat. And then once I started learning about training your voice, I was like, oh, geez, like, this is so easy to do. By the way, if you're listening and you've never heard of this, just put your hands on your, say something right now and try to feel from, like, your throat down to, like, your heart where the height, like, where the vibration is coming from. Like, right now I'm basically speaking, like, right here. This is where my vibration is coming from. That's the heart chakra. And how empowering and how beautiful is that? Because when you project out from your heart, what are you telling your subconscious mind? I love myself. I trust myself. I feel empowered and confident. I am being honest, right? It's an energy of integrity coming through the heart and being authentic. So you're, just by speaking differently, just by changing your voice, which, by the way, this is the natural voice. This is where your voice naturally wants to be. It's usually lower than the voice you have now if you haven't done this before. Just by doing that, you're training so much, you're programming so much beautiful high vibrational energy about yourself. I'm worthy into your subconscious mind. So powerful, right? VIP Catherine says to VIP Deborah 100, that customer service voice to soothe the savage customer beast. VIP Deborah says, I get loud when I'm mad or laughing. VIP Jamie says, my voice has always changed depending on who I was talking to. I get more country sometimes. Oh, that's cute. VIP Jewel says, my bestie actually commented yesterday on how much quieter I am now. Oh, interesting. Heart chakra. Maybe it has to do, a VIP Jewels with like your office setting. Is it quiet? Because everyone's reading, so maybe you talk quieter because you're like, maybe, right? That could be it too. Heart chakra. VIP Cancer says same, and I just got asked to quiet down because I got too loud. Womp womp. Shh. Maybe it's like VIP Jules, like your voice kind of reminds me of like, yeah, like being in like a library. which, by the way, that's a compliment because I love a library. One, it's a very soothing, relaxing place. Two, right? But that's kind of the vibe I get. But I wonder if it's because of your work, because I think you guys are all reading a lot, which would make sense. I get Texas accent when I'm buzzed, Beck says. VIP Jewel says to VIP Jamie, I get that. I get a twang when I talk to my friend from Texas. You guys are so cute. All right. Once you work on projecting out your outer appearance, whether it's a hair color, whether it's some makeup thing, whether it's the way that you're talking, whether it's like just going into a room before you enter any new room, whether it's your home or a restaurant or a meeting at work, you just say something high vibe to yourself. Like, right now I'm setting my energy to be confident, empowered, and open to new ideas and suggestions. Say you're the boss and you're going into like a brainstorming session with your colleagues, your employees. And you just go in saying, I'm setting the tone, my energetic tone, to be open to all ideas. No idea is a bad idea. I can't wait to have this brainstorming session. I just know we're gonna get so many beautiful and high vibe ideas out of it that are gonna help us expand our business or whatever. Like, imagine you did that before you entered every room. That is you setting your energy, okay? You can walk with your shoulders back. You can work on your posture. Do some neck exercises. We're all getting kind of like tech neck and kind of hunched forward. So working on opening up the heart, you know, kind of dropping the shoulder blades, getting the shoulders out of your ears. That's my biggest thing. My clavicle is really tight. So I'm constantly, you know, trying to get my shoulders out of my ears. So you can work on that as well. He says, once you do all that, go inside, or simultaneously go inside. Now he's talking internal energy. He says, and understand how you perceive yourself. He says there's going to be two versions of you. There's going to be the old version and the version you're working on, the new version, right? Two versions. That's normal. You're oscillating between the old version of you and the new version of you, and the old version of you and the new version of you. We talk about this all the time when we're raising frequency. He says, the thing that you've got to remember, if you want to be a winner, if you're practicing being a winner, if you've entered into the winner energy, is that winners are never in conflict with their inner world. Winners are never in conflict with their inner world. Which means if there's an old version of you that's trying to drag you down, oh my God, a bird just landed like literally right on my windowsill. Oh, I feel like, what's that show? Enchanted or something? When the birds do. Anyway, if you are a winner, you are never in conflict with your inner self. And that's that. And if you were to actually really sit with that sentence, I'm talking integrate that sentence, guess what would happen? You would release all of the resistance in your body, all the resistance in your chakra system, in your aura. And you would get into alignment with the energy that you were born with, which is the energy of worthiness, deserving, abundance, opportunity, happiness, joy, fulfillment, acceptance, all those things, right? And then all of a sudden, everything is easy for you. There's no such thing as a challenge. All right, let me get caught up with the comments, and then we're going to get going on to manifesting. VIP Jamie says, VIP Jules, older people feel more comfortable. Around here anyways, LOL. VIP Jules says, yeah, probably actually wanted to be a librarian for the longest time. I love that. I love that. VIP Catherine says, this convo is in my timeline. Just had this exact discussion last night with another. Ooh, I love that. VIP Jamie says, doctors get no accent, only stern, knowing tone. VIP Jules says, this is perfect timing, much like our convo on Friday. It just all feels so awesome. Yep, exactly. VIP Catherine says, those shoulders, that's why I check my body and ground often. I know, I'm constantly like pushing my shoulders back and down. All right, VIP Jamie says, I've already had a crying fit this morning. This combo was needed. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. I hope you feel better soon. I trust that you will. I'm sending high vibes your way. Okay, so let's just go through and summarize what we just learned. One, fantasize about a new life for yourself. Google search, like, if you are struggling with a health concern or weight loss or something to do physically, Google, what is the fastest I can do this? Healthy, in a healthy manner, right? Like, I'm not talking like slippery slopes. I'm talking like in a healthy way. Has somebody else, are there stories of other people that are experiencing what I'm experiencing right now, because it's just a moment, have they transcended out of those experiences? And if they have, how? Research the stories, right? Those are inspiring stories, and they remind us that it's possible. If they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. I know I can do it, right? Okay, so step 1, fantasize. Step 2, ask yourself, am I able to do this? Am I able to do this? And of course, yes, you just have to figure out how. And 2, you don't really even have to figure out how, right? Because you know that how is part of the universe's job. So you just have to decide you're able to do it and declare that shit. Clear, concise. Not a lot of mumbo jumbo. We don't need filler words. The universe doesn't give a shit about all your filler words. Just say what it is. I am a happy, healthy, spiritual multi-millionaire. Done. That is very simple. It's to the point. All right? Check, 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 check. Okay? 2, am I willing to do this? Am I willing to pay the price to turn my fantasy into a fact? And most people, the answer is no. That's why they're in the average masses. That's why they're in the average masses. My partner all the time is like, he has like business ideas. He's a businessman. Like, he's super freaking smart. And he's like, I just don't want to work harder than I already am. I don't want to build a business. I don't want to, like, I know what it entails. Like, I'm watching you do it. Because I'm always like, well, what if we did this, this, and this? And he's like, no. I don't want to pay the price. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll pay the price. I don't care. I do want to pay the price. I can't wait to see my life thrive even more than it already has. I think it's so exciting. And I can't wait to transform thousands, hundreds, millions of people. Wait, hundreds, thousands. I'm going the wrong way. Millions of people's lives. I'm really excited for that. I'll pay the price. I'm not afraid. 2, once you decide you're willing to pay the price, then now you've got this theory. Now you have to plant it in your mind by repetition, by visualization, by writing down your visualization and comparing notes to the life you're currently living. And if the notes have missing pieces, if things aren't aligning, then you've got to start taking action and start acting in the way that the new person would. Start with your physical appearance first. How does a new person act? No, well, they're not walking around like that. No, they're like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. Can't wait to have this convo. Da 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 da. And it might feel weird because you're just practicing being the new version of yourself. It might feel weird. It's like the baby I saw this weekend at the restaurant just started to learn how to walk, and it was like, and we were at like a restaurant, had cement floors, sharp tables, and I was like, oh my gosh, like somebody better be watching this baby. Like my natural motherly instinct just goes like, I see a baby, I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure that baby doesn't fall. Like somebody's watching this kid, right? And it's wobbling. I'm talking like, how did it stay up? I don't know. It didn't fall once, the baby. I think it was a boy. It was kind of hard to tell. Okay. So it's like that. Like you gotta like wobble all you have to wobble in your new version of yourself, but stay up. Don't go back to the old version. Just stay upright. That's your whole job, right? Stay upright. And he says, 3, after you do your physical appearance, after you work on your physical appearance, go internally and remember that winners are never in conflict with their inner world. What does that mean? It means you're not talking shit to yourself while also trying to be the new version of yourself. You're not shaming yourself energetically, body, spiritually, mentally, whatever, however you're going to do it, while also trying to be the winner. You just can't. You're just not going to do that. And by the way, once you stop doing all that weird like dialogue that happens sometimes, you stop wobbling so much, and all of a sudden you're like solidified into this new version. Okay? All right, let's go. I'm going to get caught up with the comments, and then we're for real going to go to manifesting. VIP, Catherine says, breathing has been key for me too. Notice I hold my breath during stressful times. Yeah, you were talking about that on Friday. You guys, Thursday and Friday's chats inside the Cosmic Collective were so nice. I had such a fun time with you guys. I can't wait to I think we'll do that more often. Now, will it be hour long? No. The whole point was so I wasn't spending as much time so I could get to scripting and doing whatever else so I could put more out for you guys. However, I think every Thursday, Friday, it will be like a 30-minute coffee chat like that. Sometimes maybe a video, sometimes not. But 30 minutes for sure I will be there with you guys unless I'm traveling or something weird like that. Because I had so much fun. It was just really nice to have those conversations and get to know you guys a little bit better. VIP Jewel says, I have tons of ideas. I just lack the means to implement most of them. That's why I'm taking small steps. You lack the means to implement most of them. I don't believe that. I think that's a limiting belief. VIP Jules, you don't lack the means. Head held high, don't look at the ground, look straight ahead. Yep, you got it, VIP Deborah. Dress and act like the person you are in the future. Yeah. 2, to make it true, baby steps, you're welcome. I do the same with littles. Beck says, yeah, I know. I'm like, Who's watching this baby? Where is this kid's parents? It's not me. All right. Ooh, oh boy, Lindsay. Let's get out our journals, our manifesting journals. Yeah, VIP Jules, you have the means, but perhaps right now you're focused on the challenge versus the solution. So switch it. You have the means. They're floating in your reality. The thing is, once you have an idea in your brain, automatically you have everything you need for that idea to come to life. But sometimes it's like a fun adventure. It's like, oh, did I look under this rock? It's not under that rock. Oh, maybe it's under the bed. Nope, not under the bed. Huh, maybe it's in my network. Maybe I need to tap into somebody. Oh, okay, I'm getting something there, right? So you do have it. I promise you. You do. And plus, you're like a powerful manifester, so tap in. All right, step one, this is Dr. James Doty. Get your journals out. He says this is how you manifest. He's a neurosurgeon. He has proven that the body does in fact change physically. We switch from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system, from fear to love, from fear to faith, however you want to put it. And that is how the body changes when we're manifesting, in manifestation mode. This is why healing yourself is so important, right? Because if you're not healing yourself, then you're living in fear a lot of the time. And how are you going to manifest your best life quickly and easily and effortlessly if you're living in fear state? It's not going to happen. I mean, it'll happen maybe eventually, but like however long, it's probably going to take a while. Versus getting your energy right and then manifesting. He says, step one, write down what it is you desire. Now, I say please add in your 5 senses as best you can, because in step 4, we're going to act out a scene. So if you know what you're hearing, seeing, feeling, smelling, tasting, touching, when you enter into the scene, you're going to be able to act very easily, right? Actors aren't just like playing a role. They're tapping into the emotional energy of. So let's tap into our senses and like bring up that vibe. So I vividly see, I'm already seeing, what do you see? Myself interviewing interesting people. And I hear, now I'm hearing, I hear us having informative, transformative, and empowering conversations and I feel, now I'm feeling. So I've seen, I've heard, and now I'm feeling. And I feel so proud and fulfilled. That I'm helping so many people heal and manifest their best lives. Cosmic Collective members, we have energy healing tonight at 8 p.m. Sorry for the late notice. I was like, something is on my brain. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we have energy healing tonight. So I sent out an email and I dropped it also in the Discord. So you guys have the links. And Jules, I just saw your email as well. So I'll check that out and make sure that you're like back in action. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. I have to talk to the developers. To make it true in the comment, Lindsay, I'll have to update you in Discord. OMG, Deborah says. What's going on, VIP Deborah? I'll just say I have the ideas, so I manifest the solutions. Exactly. And if you live a problem-free life, you guys, Richard Dots, oh boy, where is it? Shit. Maybe I have it on Kindle. It's called Richard Dot. The man's name is Richard Dots, and he wrote the book. It's a powerful book and it's very short. Dissolve the Problem. Oh wait, no. Shit, I don't know. Maybe it's called Dissolve the Problem. Yeah, Dissolve the Problem. Richard Dots, Dissolve the Problem. Choose that you don't have a single problem in your life. I never have a problem. There's a moment where I'm trying to figure something out, but is it really a problem? No, I'm just learning something new, right? So you don't ever have problems in your life. You simply have opportunities for growth. You have opportunities to learn. You have opportunities to figure something out, like a fun challenge. I have much, oh, that's okay, Bax. That's okay, it'll be on recording. It'll be on recording. It's group energy healing, so. All right, step 2 and step 3, read it silently, read it out loud. So do that now. Read it out loud, read it silently. And then step 4 is we're going to act out our scene. Oh my goodness, you guys. Yeah, if you guys ever miss the group energy healings, just listen to them on replay. They're going to be just as powerful. Tonight, I'm kind of bouncing between two ideas, but I think what I'd like to do tonight is work with the pineal gland and do some stuff with that. And we've done it once before a long time ago, but we're going to do it like more focused, concentrated effort this time. So it's going to be like mini lesson, and then it's going to be us practicing. Yes, VIP Deborah says. All right, step 4, you guys, get your hand chakras going. Let's put our hands on our heart. Hands on the heart. Closing the eyes. Yes, I've been wanting to do that, Baxwell. Perfect. Just catch it on replay. All the videos are on replay inside of Teachable. All right, breathing into the front of the heart chakra, opening up the heart chakra, inhaling through the nose, receiving high vibrational energy in. And on the exhale through the nose, releasing the energy through the heart. So it's like your heart is breathing and giving high vibrational energy back. Let's choose something right now. Are you receiving love, giving love? Are you receiving confidence, giving love? Are you receiving empowerment, giving confidence? Like what do you want to receive in from the universal energy, and what would you like to give back in return? On the next inhale, you're going to breathe in and receive that energy, whatever you've just chosen, into your heart space, opening up your heart chakra, big, 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 wide, 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 touch the central sun with it. And on the exhale, you're not only getting this energy from the central sun back to your heart space, but now you're giving a high vibrational energy in return. And if there are any little dust bunnies in your energetic system, meaning any thoughts of negativity, self-doubt, fear, whatever, let them go too. One more deep breath in, receiving that energy into the front of the heart chakra, opening it up, big, 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 wide, 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 touch the central sun. On the exhale, you're receiving the energy of the central sun. You're also giving something beautiful to the energy of the world and letting out any little dust bunnies if you need to. Bringing your energy, bringing your attention and your awareness to the back of the heart chakra. Breathing into the back of the heart chakra, receiving in from the back. Exhale, giving something in return. Breathing into the back of the heart chakra, opening it up, big, 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 wide, wide, wide. Receive something in, touch the central sun. On the exhale, you're connecting the energy of the central sun to your heart. You're giving something beautiful to the back of the heart chakra, releasing any little dust bunnies that need to go. One more deep breath in. Touch the central sun, and on the exhale, give something away. Every time you breathe, you are giving and receiving, giving and receiving. This is the flow state of life. Give and receive, give and receive. So when it's in really nice, energetic rhythm, it becomes very easy to give value, receive money, give creativity, receive money, give value, receive value, give a skill, receive a different skill, right? Trade services, something like that. All right, now you're entering into a scene. You just wrote it down in your journal, what you're feeling, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching. So go act it out. You're not watching a movie, you're acting. So if you need to talk, if you need to move your body, get yourself really into it. You're the leading star of the show. They're paying you millions of dollars to do this. And that's it. That's all you have to do. I was talking to somebody I was interviewing because, as you know, I just wrote down that I see myself interviewing very interesting people. And so for me, I was talking to that person. I was introducing them. I'm like, I can't wait to have this conversation. I'm like super excited to hear what you know and like just chatting with them. So easy peasy, you guys, right? Easy peasy. For those of you you that are not in my world yet, maybe this is the first time you've experienced me. I do go live Monday through Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm live on YouTube at the same time, so if you ever miss a show, you can catch me on YouTube at I'm Lindsay with Love. You can also catch information around astrology on YouTube, longer reports, so longer monthly videos, more astrology information. I'm going to be doing meditation, subconscious reprogrammings in the near future. I have a lot of ideas. I just need to get them filmed. So it's going to be a very transformative space teaching you all about your energy. You can catch any of my live replays, which there are tons of at this point. And if you are interested in an astrology report, you can get one at lindsaywithlove.com. I write 50+ page reports for people, teaching them all about their highest vibration and all about their energy from an astrology perspective. And if you want to really hang out with me, then join the Cosmic Collective. That's the place to do it. All right, let's get on the energetic wave, you guys. Closing the eyes, deep breath in through the nose, belly nice and full. Letting it go out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Letting it go. One more deep breath in. Letting it go. Maybe you're thinking about something you're going to change from an appearance perspective, whether it's the energy that you show up in before you enter a room, whether it's the way that you're physically appearing to people, the clothes you wear, how you dress, the makeup you're choosing, the jewelry you're choosing. I mean, it could really be anything. Maybe you decide today is the day that you really start practicing on energetically training your voice. And all that really takes is you holding your hands on your heart as you talk to people. And if they question it, you can just say, I'm training my voice, and I'm pretty sure people will be open to that. All right, one hand on the solar plexus, one hand on the heart. Speaking these words out loud if you can, and only silently if you must, because the words that you speak have serious power. So say them with conviction from your solar plexus and love and intention from your heart. I am strong, and I can do this. Smiling big and showing me your teethers. And why did I do it? Wait, shoot. I freaking did it. Why? Because I knew I could do it. I am strong, and I created this reality. Smiling big and showing me your teethers. And why did I do it? Because I am worthy and deserving of it. And you take this thought, this feeling, this vision, this idea of this reality, and you breathe it, pulling the energy up the chakra system, giving it to God, Source, Universe, Creator, out of the crown, the top of the head, big, 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 wide, wide, wide. Touch the central sun. Show your energy, show your vision. And on the exhale, you hold the vision. You know it's on the way. You're taking action every single day, small action, progress toward your goal. You're successful because of that, dropping it into the root, good. Cementing it into a clockwise fashion, really growing the roots, letting it sink down into the core of Mother Earth. One more time, I'm doing it with you, breathing in this energy, pulling it up the chakra system, giving it to God, Source, Universe, Creator, out of the crown. Holding it at the top, make it big, wide, touch the central sun. You know what you're doing, you know what you're creating, and on the exhale, you hold the vision, the trust, the knowingness, the patience, the trust, the determination, the moving forward every day, dropping it into the root, good, cementing it in a clockwise fashion, growing the roots down to the central sun. One more time, I am strong, and I created this reality. Smiling big and showing me your teethers. And why did I do it? Because I, say your first name, Lindsay, am worthy and deserving of it. You are on the energetic wave, my friends. I hope you have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. Cosmic Collective members, I'll see you on Discord all day today. Jules, I'm going to check your email, make sure we're all good there. If you guys have questions, please just ping me. For those of you that are new to my world, click the follow button up here. I go live Monday through Wednesday at 9 a.m. You can catch me on YouTube at I am Lindsay with Love to see extended horoscopes and all those good things. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Have a great day. Goodbye to my YouTubers. Have a great day.